What's up, weirdos? You ever been driving across a bridge at night and hear what sounds like someone crying? Are you currently freaked out to discover it's not just you? You may have crossed over one of America's Crybaby Bridges. So, a bit of a disclaimer for this episode. There will be mentions of infanticide and homicide and suicide. If those themes make you uncomfortable, please move on, or skip to the end of the episode for a message that is both relevant and important to the subject. And if you've chosen to keep watching, please stick around. Alright, let's go gallivanting. Crybaby bridges exist all over the US, and in some states there's more than one. Now, despite all of the locations where they do exist, there is one commonality between them all. That's their chilling backstory. Just about all of these bridges come with a story about a mother who had a baby, and because it was born with an illness, a defect, or was unwanted, she threw them off the bridge. Shortly after, she jumps off herself. And now, the wailing cries of the baby can be heard somewhere around the bridge at night, and in some cases, the cries of the mother as well. Now, many crybaby bridges have a unique story or two added on, and there's so many that I can't cover them in one episode, so I'm only going to be covering a couple of states. Let's begin with Ohio. Rogues Hollow is a mining village in Doylestown, historically known for its haunted history. Now, there is a crybaby bridge there, but there are also more than a few cases of paranormal activity that's been reported, but that's for another episode. I love it when a subject sends me down a completely different rabbit hole. There are a couple different stories that surround the bridge at Rogues Hollow, including the one that was mentioned earlier. Some say a woman gave birth under the bridge and then drowned the baby. Others say that there was a family driving over the bridge in the winter, slipped on the ice and crashed, leaving no survivors. Now, according to those tales, if you turn your car off while on the bridge, or cross it while it's icy, you can hear the child crying somewhere in the distance. In accordance with the common tale, the mother can be heard weeping, and sometimes wandering the bridge and the roadways. Now, if that wasn't enough of a reason to visit Ohio, how about the Screaming Bridge of Maud Hughes Road in Liberty Township? This Cincinnati area bridge has been replaced, but that hasn't stopped the stories from circulating and creeping out the locals and visitors. Now, this location comes with its fair share of origin stories, aside from the common one, including a couple's argument resulting in the man pushing his partner off the bridge, and it's her screams that people hear today. Another story talks about a couple whose car breaks down on the bridge, and when the man goes to get help, he returns to find his partner hanged from the bridge. So how did the Screaming Bridge of Maud Hughes Road get its name? Some attribute it to the screams of a woman's spirit. Others explain it by the fact that the bridge used to be grooved, and when cars ran over it, it would make a scream-like sound, similar to rumble strips. But when it comes to what people see, some have reported phantom engineers and trains on the tracks below, floating orbs, and even satanic rituals taking place. If you want to see stuff like this, you can apparently increase your chances by flashing your headlights 3 times while on the bridge. You ever notice that you have to perform some sort of secret knock or ritual to get the attention of ghosts? Why? Ohio's got one more for us. Jesus, Ohio, are you okay? In Salem, Ohio, there is a bridge with restricted access that is, you guessed it, surrounded by its lore. We've got the original tale, a tale about a mother getting disowned by her family, and a tale about a baby who wanders off and gets lost before meeting their demise. Today, rumor has it that if you park at the guardrail and shine your lights, a white mist will come out from under the bridge and move towards you. Next thing you know, ghosts will need a shave and a haircut, or they're not answering. It's also believed by some that if you cross the guardrail and go into the woods on the other side, that you won't come back. That guardrail. Yeah, definitely proportionate to the danger. Alright, let's get out of Ohio. Let's move on to Texas. Well, there's Spook Road Bridge in DeKalb, and there's a bridge that goes over Jack Creek in Lufkin, both of which have stories in which a car drives off of them with a family inside. But it's Sarah Jane Bridge, where it's said that you can spot the specter if you're on it at midnight. You'll see a flickering light resembling a lantern out in the woods, and you can even hear Sarah Jane calling out for her baby that she left under the bridge. You can up your sighting chances if you do this on the convenient dates of Halloween and Friday the 13th. There are so many Crybaby Bridges around the US, Kentucky and Maryland being just two more examples of states that have them. It's not a bad theme for a road trip. If you've ever been on one of these bridges, share your experience. And keep an ear out the next time you cross a bridge in the middle of the night. The themes of this episode were indeed heavy, and I think it's important to shed some light on a very relevant topic that doesn't get the attention that it needs. Postpartum depression and postpartum psychosis affect around 1 in 7 mothers in the US, or 3 million cases per year. This is a very common occurrence amongst new mothers that isn't really talked about publicly, leaving many to feel alone in their battle against it. There can be many reasons for this lack of awareness, including shame for having uninvited or harmful feelings towards being a new parent, or being part of a culture that still struggles with legitimizing and normalizing mental health. Fortunately, there are resources for education and for help at your disposal should you find yourself struggling through this significant shift in life, which I've included in the description. Now, I am a father who has witnessed the effects of postpartum depression, and it's important to know that you are not alone, and there are millions of mothers out there who empathize with you, and fathers who have also witnessed it or experienced it themselves. Thank you for sticking around. Now, the subjects may be grotesque, but the space will always be safe. Weirdos are welcome, and so are you.